Hello everybody, welcome back to Cape Rugby here on Cape Town TV. Nice to have along. We've missed you so much. Of course, the show is climbing in stature week by week. It's getting better and better and bigger. We are hoping, of course, that you are on Facebook with us as we speak, and of course on Twitter as well. Jump on right now. There are some fantastic prizes up for grabs for some of you that are joining us on Facebook. As usual, we try and get you to climb those numbers. But let me introduce you to my panel this evening. Herman Abrams, the Deputy CEO of Western Province Rugby. Hello, Mr. H.
Good evening, JP.
You're looking very dapper this evening?
Yeah, well, it was a good week, you know. So far, everything is going nice. The weather is nice. And I think by the end of the week, we will all look back at this week and say, you know, what a great place to be in. And what a great show to be on. Absolutely.
Of course, also joining us this evening is Francois Bonte, is the president of NNK. Hello, Bonte.
JP, evening. Nice to be here.
Is that appropriate? Am I allowed to call you Bonte?
Yes, you may. I think 90% of Cape Town calls me that, so yes.
Well, nice to have you here. It's fantastic. And of course, Egan Seconds, my man, looking very fit.
Good to be back, and I must say I missed you too, JP.
Oh, you see, no. You see, I know, there's a man there that can lie with a straight face. Well, Egan Seconds, of course, joins us here, and if there's anyone that can tell us about the ins and outs of playing on the field at Newlands, then that's the man who it is. But let's not waste too much time. Let's get straight into this week's results. Looking then first at Super League A. Hamilton's, well, there you go, a 29 points to 19 win. Egan, we might as well talk to you about that. You said it was on the cards last week. Yep. It was a big derby match. Of course, a comeback there after that loss for Hammies at the SK Women's at the track.
More of a hiding.
More of a hiding, but you pulled it back this weekend.
Yeah, we had to, you know, to save the season basically. We want to stay competitive and in the running, and we just want to make it exciting on the top, you know. So we've pulled back SK Women's a little bit. So the top 5 teams are still up there.
So what made the difference? I mean, 29-19 and compared to what happened at the track?
Yeah, I think that the guys woke up before the game started compared to the last time woke up at halftime, and we were down by like 28 points. And I also think that the guys knew what was at stake now. I mean, Hamilton's has got a good reputation, so we needed to live up to it. Yeah. And it was a home game for us, even though it might not have seemed that if you were at the field. Yeah. We needed to make right for our first round defeat there.
Let's take a look at some of the other results then. Brackenfell went down to NNK, 46 points to 21. Well, here we have the man himself, the president of NNK. Bonte, there's a nice little result there for you guys, 46 points.
Yeah, it is. Brackenfell were in the game the first half. Yeah. Second half, NNK took over and played some decent rugby. And that's what we're trying to do this year, make it enjoyable for everybody playing, and obviously to win, and for the spectators as well. So I think we're achieving that.
Yeah, we of course had you guys on the show not so long ago when you were at Tygerberg. I think you narrowly lost.
Correct, that. 1 point, yeah.
1 point loss.
We had a chance to win. We missed a kick 2-3 minutes to go, so it was in our hands and we just let it slip. But that's history, and we have to carry on now, and it's in our hands. It's going to be a tough league. Tygerberg, a good side. Belleville is still there. So yeah, we were looking forward to the challenge.
What are you guys focusing on at the moment, without giving away too much of the game plan?
No. Obviously, no. We want the guys to enjoy the game, and you can see the expansive game we're playing. And obviously, if you look further on in the result as well, a lot of high scores. So guys aren't really paying enough attention on defence, but they're scoring good tries and it's bringing the crowds to come watch rugby. Yeah. And that's what we're trying to achieve at the end of the day as well, to get the crowds back at club rugby. No,
well, and it's certainly happening. It looks like the crowds are coming back to club rugby. Certainly haven't left club rugby, put it that way. The clubs are making every effort there to make sure that the fans are there. Let's take a look at some of the rest of the results there in Super League B. 43 points over 40 to Young People's over Peniel Villages. Nice result for them. Collegians, a nice win for them. 32-29 over Hands and Hearts. Kales River, 28-13 over Belleville, and Primrose, 23-48 loss for them against Tygerberg. Mr. H, there's been a bit of a conversation about Tygerberg and Primrose. It seems that there was an incident there over the week, and many people asked if we can get some feedback about this incident. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I believe that after a try was scored, there was some altercation behind the poles, but after that the referee, you know, sort of sorted the matter out, and then the kick was taken, and then after that it was time, according to the two clubs. I must now still hear from the referee what he says. Was it time, or was he just You know, did he stop the game before the time? So.
What is the procedure with something like that in terms of if there's a red card or a yellow card? I mean, in certain cases, a red card could be quite serious, and then it might go to a DC or disciplinary committee for those folks that aren't aware of the terminology. But then you might have something that happens off the field, which I'm happy to say is not happening as much as it used to happen 10 years ago. But what is the procedure?
Well, when the reports come in from the referee, because that's where we get our first-hand information from, then obviously misconduct, then there will be an inquiry, and then the matter will be referred to the disciplinary committee. If it's a red card, then it will be decided, must it go to, if it's serious, must it go to the DC. Otherwise, it's just, straightforward. You get 3 weeks automatic suspension, and you stay out of rugby for 3 weeks.
Can the referee at any stage call the game off?
The referee is the sole judge.
At the time?
Yep.
All right. It doesn't go any further than that. The referee makes the decision right there.
He makes the decision, and then the matter will be referred to the disciplinary committee.
All right. Let's look at the results then in Premier League A. Elsie's Rugby going down to Goodwood. Of course, 34 points to 20 there for that win for them. Hamlet's 21-30 loss against Rangers. Stelkor, St. George's, 0-0. Mr. H. St. George's, of course, your grandfather was the founder of St. George's, right?
That's right.
Just needed a double check. We're never sure when it comes to St. George's. But a draw there for Stelkor against St. George's. Paul, well, they went down to Scottsdene over the weekend, 36-24. Langa went down to Kraaifontein, 38 points to 36. A slightly better result then for Kraaifontein. The last time we saw them, of course, Kraaifontein was playing against St. George's and didn't go quite their direction. In Premier League B, it's Milnerton going down to Laguna, 8 points to 20. Franschhoek drew with Strand United and Silvertree, a 21 points to 7 win over Silver Leaf. Mr. H, you were saying last week that you were hoping that between Silvertree and Silver Leaf that they would have a sterling performance.
Yeah, it looks like a sterling performance.
Francois, in your opinion, in the leagues, what makes the difference between a winning team and a losing team?
Well, you have to have depth. You have to have depth because it's a long season. You could have crucial injuries, and then your backup system must be good. Yeah. And that's vital. I mean, you see it in Springboks, you see it in Stormers, everywhere. So, and of course, good structures and administration must be in place. But the main thing is to have players and good depth.
You mentioned defence earlier on,
yes.
And defence seemed to be a big talking point amongst Western Province, or at least in the Stormers ranks through the entire season. But there was also a lot of criticism in the beginning of the season for should we be so defensive in our structures. And I know Jake White's theory in the World Cup was he won the World Cup on defence. And you mentioned defence. How important is defence in club rugby?
Man, it's vital because you want to win. And the only way you stop people from scoring tries is defend. But you can't place too much emphasis on it. It's to find a balance of attack and defending. And Egan will know, as a rugby player, I mean, you win games by good defence. I mean, Murray Mexted mentioned it, Stormers playing Crusaders. Are they concentrating too much on defence and lacking the attack? And you saw that at times that we didn't know what to do with the ball when it came out at times because they were worried about getting in position on defence and not really back in position to when the ball comes out of turnovers, ready to attack. So it's to find the balance, but defence is very important.
Egan, in your opinion, I mean, you've now played at several different levels. How easy is it for a club rugby player to stay in the structures? And from a coaching point of view, are they able to teach structures, defensive structures?
You know, being at club level myself these days, you know, as a player, you aspire to play bigger rugby. So those are the things that is vital to have part of your makeup. You know, you can be a good attacking player, but your defense is the one thing that stands out. You know, you can score a lot of tries, but if you score slip 1 or 2 tackles, that is what people remember. So as an individual, you need to know that that's where you need to work on. If you're a good defender, whether you're a good or a bad defender, it's something you always got to work on, and then link it in as a team structure. Because at the end of the day, if you're a good defender and I'm not, and we're teammates, you know, I'm going to let you down.
So you think about, I mean, but you talk about letting each other down in the team. Of course, if you let someone, you're going to fall maybe out of position of a move, or you're going to, you know, what is referred to as error rate. I've been lucky enough to actually see some of the back the backstage, so to speak, of,
Yeah.
of what the Stormers are going through. And at that level, you guys are used to studying videos, studying drills, and you literally spend hours and hours and hours memorizing drills.
Yes.
And somebody like myself, we think, how on earth do you remember 60, 70 different moves on a rugby field? But you actually do.
Yeah.
Now, of course, it's because you have the time to
Yes.
spend watching videos and watching drills and watching moves.
Yeah.
But at club rugby, it's 2 or 3 times a week. I mean, so you have the experience.
Yes.
Because you hear a drill and you know how it's going to work.
That's right.
But a lot of the other guys haven't had that. How do you build that into the players?
You know, JP, I speak to a lot of youngsters that I look after also, and to train Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday is not enough.
Yeah.
You know, to go to the field for 2 hours. It's what you do on your own time. Because if you look at the Stormer structures now, the video sessions are becoming something, a team video session, something of the past. They get individual video sessions. It's you, the professional player, you go fetch the laptop, and that's your time you put in. Because at the end of the day, you're responsible for the type of player you either are or become.
Yeah, yeah.
So every player should take that responsibility. Whether you study your opponents or whether you go work on extra defensive work in your own time. But just training at a club is not enough if you want to aspire to higher things.
Francois, you've had quite a lot of experience in this level yourself, and as a coach, I mean, you must be at a certain point that you give the guys homework.
No, you do, especially if you're in the top league and you want to do well. I mean, that's what it's about. You want to be successful. But another point is to remember is not how much practice it is the quality of practice. So, and what happens and what tends to happen at club level a lot is because you've got an hour and a half, you want to do 10 different things. Instead of taking 2 things and doing that thoroughly in those 2 sessions, you're going to get much more achieved. So if you're going to do defense, you do defense for 45 minutes an hour.
Yeah.
Then you're going to achieve much more than doing it 10 minutes. They want to do rucks, they want to do lineouts, they want to do this drill.
Yeah.
So break it and say tonight we're going to do defense, and you work hard on defense for an hour. You're going to get much more achieved by doing it like
So
that.
take one thing at a time, get it right before you move on to the next.
Absolutely. What are you going to do in 10 minutes?
Absolutely. Folks, we are running some competitions. Many of you sent your photographs in during the course of the week, and as we said, 10 of you tonight will win 10 shirts. All right, and we said that they will be limited editions. Well, we're not quite sure about how limited they're going to be, but tonight 10 of you are going to win a shirt like this each. We'll need your sizes, and those shirts will go to the best photographs that came in, or fan pics that came in during the course of the week, and we're going to go through those pics a little bit later during the show. Remember, we are on Facebook as we speak, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. Now, if you jump onto Facebook right now, we are going to give away 2 sets of 5 tickets to go and watch Province take on Griquas at Newlands. That's a fantastic prize. So instead of just you and one other, this time you and 4 friends can go to Newlands this Saturday at Newlands to go and watch Western Province take on Griquas. You just need to get on Facebook right now, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. When we come back, we'll take a look at what happened in Division 1 and Division 2. Back in a mo. Hello everybody, welcome back to Cape Rugby TV. Nice to have you back here. www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV, or if you're on a mobile, it's as easy as just typing in on Facebook, Cape Rugby TV. It should pop up. Join us and we'll put you in the mix to win yourself 5 tickets to go watch Western Province take on Griquas over the weekend. Mr. H, but let's take a look at some of the players though. And we always focus on the clubs, but I think we must give the players some attention as well. In that, and it's nice that we've got Francois here as well, but some interesting results there.
Yeah, and you know, I listen to my 2 learned colleagues here now, but I am one for the entertainment value. And 300 points were scored in Super League B over the weekend, about 60 points per match, which is great. I mean, Llewellyn Moorman of NNK scored 3 tries, a hat-trick.
Yeah.
And I believe he came off the bench to come score 3 tries. And Angelo Brinkreis of Tygerberg also scored 3 tries.
He's the 8th man.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that's great for
Yeah.
for the spectators to
Yeah.
see this kind of thing. And Tails River versus Belleville, that was a surprise result, you know.
Yeah.
Belleville is like right close to the top, and suddenly they were leading 13-3, but they didn't score in the second half. And Tails River scored 25 points in the second half, which is, you know, they must be wondering what hit them in the second half.
Maybe it's the defense.
Well, the fans went home.
Yeah. So some nice, interesting facts there. Llewellyn Moorman, a hat trick for him for NNK. Francois, you must be happy with that sort of performance, eh?
Yes, absolutely. But Llewellyn Moorman's been consistent all year. Good little player.
Yeah.
And I would hate to have seen what the score would have been if he started the match. So.
Let's take a look then at Division 1's results then. Northern's 10-3 over Young Wesley's. Carlmore going down to Boland, 38 points to 13. Yesterday, 29-10 over Strand. Hamadias, 24-22. Those are your results in Division 1. We went down over the weekend to go and watch Manenberg play against Temperance. It was great being there. Why don't you join us and have a look and see what came up on the day.
JP in the guy. Hij te gaan maken, hij te gaan maken! Je komt binnen!
Alle ballen zoals gebroken. He's very skew.
It's right, Wayne. Well done, Wayne. Hands!
Hij is overlopen.
Mr. Ref, the guys in the sun for 15 minutes. What's going on?
Bill. Skew. Well done. Up, Wayne, up. Come on, Mikey. Take him out. Let's go. Shut up. Touch. Squeeze.
Frita, frita routine. Frita routine. Exact. Hier. Pressa.
Squeeze.
Oh, Mr. Come on, Mr. Ref.
Lijnen.
Right, let's go.
Good luck for the rest of the season, guys. And MIT, good luck for you. Remember, training takes us further. Remember, we play sport for a specific goal. Okay?
Welcome back, folks. Nice to have the guys from Manenberg out there on show and, of course, doing a fantastic job. And I must say I'm very impressed with that field. Mr. H, a nice scenario at that field there. It certainly looks like the community's getting together to support Manenberg and that things are on the up.
Yes, you know, one would love to see some seating there and things like that, which is, of course, a problem for the city of Cape Town to provide better facilities. It's very difficult when you just have an open field like that, you know. But yeah, it was nice to be out there.
It was absolutely fantastic, and I must say for the folks at Manenberg and MIT Rangers, thanks for hosting us on the day. Nice to have a little bit of gezelligheid there langs aan die veld. And of course we managed to catch up with the coach of MIT Rangers as well.
I think this was one of our toughest encounters of the season. I think that the Temperance teams picked it up a little regarding first round game. which was a little bit one-sided, and today it was the best team came out on top. Our strong point is our whole club, juniors to the seniors, because capacity building is important. Our emphasis is to keep the ball alive, because we don't encourage kicking by our club from under 7 to the first team, in order for us to own the ball.
Well, there you go, folks. That was the coach of MIT Rangers, and we also managed to catch up with the captain of MIT.
Yeah, it's always a tough game for teams. Yeah, coach spirit, team spirit is good. We're up there now. All the guys come to practice and they're determined to win the league. As you can see, the whole community is here. It's nice to see our whole community here every Saturday supporting us.
Francois, let me ask you, how do you keep, you're also, you're the president of NNK, how do you keep your players motivated? Manenberg, tough conditions, hasn't been easy, but they've been working hard to get it right, but how do you keep a smile on the coach's face?
Well, make sure that he's got backing, make sure the administration is fine, that he just has to concentrate on these coaching duties, that all the backup he needs is there, we assist him, we help him, that he just has to focus on his job, not to worry about jerseys or anything else. Those things are sorted, he can just concentrate and do his job and say what he's there to do and coach.
Another coach that's also just joined Temperance and hasn't had it so easy is Robin Raphael. We caught up with Robin from Temperance at Manenberg Sidefield.
Yeah, very tough. We knew it was going to be tough before the outset. After I saw them play against us at home, I knew that this was the game that was going to, I told the guys it's going to be the final. It was a must-win game. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out the way we wanted, but that's rugby. We started off very late. I got to the club late. We didn't have a pre-season or an off-season, which meant that the boys weren't really fit. And we've got fit as we've gone along, and we're a lot fitter now in the second half of the season. So we're only really hitting our stride now. I think we showed guts. We showed real character with 30 men on the field. We didn't allow them to score during that time. That was vitally important. I said to the boys after the game, I think it's the first game they've really played with passion this season. Weak points, I think decision making. We kicked the ball too much out of hand. We should have kept the ball more in hand. If we did kick, it should have been out and not into their hands so they could run at us. We want to work on obviously our decision making. Our defence has become a lot better. We're going to keep working on that though, and I think our strength really rests with our forwards, and we're going to keep going that way.
Well, it looks like everybody's working very hard there to keep their clubs up in the leagues and make sure they're surviving, and of course we also managed to catch up with the captain.
Het is eindelijk gewenst om te winnen. Dan staan we een betere kans, ze zal op en leren, een beetje nader geklimmen naar die man wat top is. We zitten een keer die bal gehardlopen en we zetten hanteerfouten in de achterlijn, dus de bal achter de stuur. Maar de veld was goed, de veld heeft weer samengespeeld en de veld was lekker droog. Ja, spelers nummer 6 blank, Leroy Biel, onze haker, Gandif Talib en onze nummer 8 Rompeit. Wat is meer focus is op onze decision making en dat is ook moet een beetje aandacht geven aan onze fitness.
Welcome back, folks, and if you have just joined us, please join us on Facebook as well, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. 2 of you tonight will walk away with 5 tickets to go and watch. In other words, 1 person, 5 tickets. That's for 2 people to go and watch Western Province take on Griquas. And we'll be giving some lucky winners a unique Cape Rugby shirt. Some of those photographs that came in during the course of the week wins those shirts. Mr. H, in the beginning of the video there, we saw MIT Rangers at the end of the video, clearly one of the community leaders motivating the players. Is this something that we're seeing at a lot of the clubs where there's the reminder of why we're together on a Saturday?
Yeah, I think some people make a point of that, and I know other clubs, they do something like that on a Thursday night. Tell the players, look, this is what you are going to do there, this is how you must behave, and this is what we expect of you. And other people come on a Saturday, or at their meetings, they will get people in to talk to them about what is their responsibility in the community. And it's great to see that kind of attitude towards rugby, because rugby needs all the assistance.
But of course there was a time in the past, and Francois, let me ask you, there was a time in the past when there was no communication at all between clubs, because you didn't have cell phones like mobile, there was no internet place for people to chat online, and the only time that you saw your opponent was maybe once or twice or 3 times in a year.
I wish we can go back to those times, because those were great times. That's what a lot of people forget about rugby. Rugby is not just winning and losing. Rugby goes about socializing, meeting other people, conversing with other people, sharing ideas with other people. And I still got some of my best friends off of guys I've been in rugby 30, 40 years ago. Yeah. And I find a tendency today, though, the clubs aren't supporting one another. Like when they play at we don't see them upstairs afterwards having a cool drink or beer with us. And we want that. That's right. That's what rugby is about. And we emphasize it at our club. We got one of the best spirits that I've ever had in my club this year, because we're bringing hard and the coaches are bringing hard. That rugby is for everybody. The family must come up and enjoy. The club is there for them. We're a club on Saturdays from first team right in under 20s and enjoy it and mix with the other people. And you played a hard game. Now must relax.
Egan, you guys hook up after the game?
Not just after the game, JP. Even after training, like Mr. Bonte said, I have to say Mr. Bonte, he was my under-21 coach also.
I'm not that old, I just started young.
You know, JP, a club, it's very important as part of the success of a club also. You know, you mates on the field and off the field, it's like a family. And it starts there, you know. It's no use us going onto the field as teammates, but we're holding grudges of something that happened off the field. You know, those things eventually come through and show on the field. So socializing and I mean, just to spend a few minutes with your teammates, is getting to know them. Because at the end of the day, you spend most of your time with them when you're on the field.
But do you take the time to socialize with your opponents after the game?
Yeah, well, we try to. You know, you can't force anybody to join you. Yes. But it's in the spirits. And I have to add on to what Bonte said there. I mean, to meet people, it's a friendship you build for a lifetime. I've met people over my career that, you know, that under circumstances you meet them, but you become the best of friends afterwards. Yes, yeah. Whether you enemies on the field, but off the field you have a beer. Yeah. You know, you want to kill each other between the 4 lines.
Yeah. Well, I must say, folks, for those of you that we've brought Cape Town TV to, with the Cape Rugby Show, those of you that have hosted us, I've been very impressed. It's been fantastic. Every single game that I've been at, I've seen the presidents and the coaches get together for a little function. In some cases, when we were in St. George, it was under a gas lamp, which I'm hoping has been fixed now. I'm hoping someone can give us some feedback. Has that field's electricity been repaired? But to get back to the point, every event that I've been to so far, it's been fantastic to see the coaches and captains and presidents of those clubs get together and shake hands and have a little snack and contribute to the bonding process there, as Francois said. Let's look at some of the rest of the results before we go to an ad break. Of course, in Division 2, Atlantis, it was a nice win for them. 46 points to 8 over Strand Pioneers. Manenberg Rangers, we mentioned it earlier on. You saw the video, 18-16 over Temperance. Watsonia, 1 point win for them over All Saints, 18-17. A win for Whistling Wheels. Looks like those wheels are finally back on. Whistling Wheels, 9-3 over Blue Jets in Division 3. It's Perseverance. 17-8 over Young Brothers. Violets going down to Young Ideas, 35 points to 13. Bishop Lavis, a loss for them, unfortunately, against Cloutiesville, but nice points there for Cloutiesville, 38 points to 26. Caledonian Roses, 25-8 over Richmond. Marcy, 15-6 over Thistle. Kailicha going down to Titans, 13-5, and a big win for Imakawi, 20-0 over Mitchell's Plain United. And in the Paarl region, Vineyards, is this possibly right, Mr. H? 104 points to 7?
That is when number 1 plays number 10 on the log.
No, I didn't mean their position on the log. Is the score right?
Vineyards has got a very good side.
Yeah,
so, yeah. They will punish, you know, people that are not up to scratch.
I mean, 104 points to 7. That's a sad scenario there. Let's look at the rest of the results then. Riverstones 42-17 over Allendale, and Albions a 1 point win for them over Simondium. When we come back, we're going to take a look at the log positions, and we'll start taking a look at some of those photographs that came in over the course of the week. If you are out there right now watching, join us on Facebook, and you could win yourself 5 tickets to go watch Western Province take on Griquas. Back in a mo. Folks, of course, let's take a look then at the logs, and we'll start off in Super League A. The SK Warmers are on top of Stellenbosch. Hamilton's is in third place there with 10 points, but of course, or at least on 32 points, but of course, still a few games in hand. Let's take a look at Super League B. Tygerberg's firmly in first place, followed by NNK in second place on 40 points. Bellville, Brackenfell, those have all played 10 games, and it looks like it's a tight run there for first place between Tygerberg and NNK. Bonti, when you get to this point of the season, do you get to the feeling that like now you have to chase, or do you have to be more careful? Because it looks like at this stage in Super League B, it's between you and Tygerberg.
Now we're praying at this point in time. No, it's just to work on your things that have been working, try and improve on that, and just be ready and hope you don't get serious injuries. Because as you can see, our seconds and thirds aren't doing that well, so our depths are not where it should be. But so far so good. No, we must it's in our hands now. We can't depend on anyone else. And our destiny is in our hands, and we must make it work. Okay,
but you're aware of your position, and
absolutely, and we're aware of Tygerberg being a good side, and even Bellville is a good side. So it's a tough league. We know all about it.
All right, let's take a look at Premier League A's log points at the moment. Goodwood, St George's and Scotstoun in the top three over there. In Premier League B, it's UWC, Silurians and Laguna in the top three. Division 1, Yesterofir, Young, Wesleys and Northerns. In Division 2, it's Manenberg Rangers, Watsonia and Rocklands. Certainly looks like Manenberg have fortified their position there, or at least that's what the fans at Manenberg are saying. And just once again to the fans that are out of Manenberg, a big hello. Let's look at Division 3. Violets, Caledonian Roses and Young Ideas. Masi Pumulenia in Imukawi are in Division 4 in the top three. Of course, Thistle and Titans there as well. And we take a look at the Paarl region. It's Vineyards, Lower Paarl and Violets in the top three over there. Quite a bit of work to do. So folks, as you know, we run our weekly competitions, and one of our primary sponsors here on the show is, of course, Leisure Hotels. And weekly we give you an opportunity to win yourself some accommodation at the Leisure Hotels. So last week's winner, Martin Donald Lowe. Congratulations, Martin. You win yourself some accommodation at the Leisure Hotels, and a fantastic accommodation it is. Folks, all you need to do is make sure that you SMS the word leisure to 32010. 32010, and that's the number that you need to send that word leisure to, and you will go in the draw to win yourself some accommodation courtesy of the Leisure Hotels. And don't forget, you can win yourself 5 tickets to go and watch Western Province take on Griquas at Newlands over the weekend. Always special to go to Newlands. And all you need to do is jump on Facebook right now. We are looking for you. We are live. And in fact, while we are live, let me quickly just say hello to some of you that are on Facebook there with us right now. Fiona Stark is out there, Dion de Tooy, and some of the messages that have come in. And I must say, thanks for those messages there, folks. Fiona says she would really appreciate the tickets. Well, Fiona, we've got your name on the list there. Dion de Tooy. Hi, JP. Kyle gaan die ronde op sy kop draai. Hi, JP. Florida Park is the place to be this weekend. Tygerberg against Bellville. Mr. H, would you agree with that?
Yes.
Big fixture.
Big fixture.
Big fixture. Tygerberg against Bellville. Fatima Khabir. Finally get to see what the infamous JP looks like. Yeah, don't worry. It's just now you finally know what the face looks like behind the voice. It's, of course, so much better to rather hear JP on radio than it is to hear JP on TV, because you see the face behind the voice. People have always said to me, JP, you've got the perfect face for radio.
I agree.
The perfect face for radio. Folks, we'll take an ad break. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of those photographs that you sent in over the weekend. Welcome back, folks. Nice to see you out there on Facebook. So many of you, once again, jumping on, and we want to grow those numbers. And the reason we want to grow those numbers, folks, it's pretty simple. The more exposure we get for club rugby, the more people can talk about club rugby, the more chance that the clubs out there have got an opportunity for sponsorship, all right? It's the only way we're going to empower clubs out there, is clubs need sponsorship. This is very, very, very important, folks. Finally, you have a television show backing Cape Rugby. And when I say Cape Rugby, I'm talking about club rugby and youth rugby as well. Francois, let's ask you. You're the president. You've been involved with club rugby for a long time. It must be, and we've seen it with some of the other clubs, it's very difficult to survive without sponsorship.
No, absolutely, absolutely. It's all about money, and it's put a hell of a lot of pressure on clubs at the moment. which individual is going to put in $1 million, $2 million in a club? So the demands are high, and it's becoming more and more difficult. And if it continues, I'm afraid that some clubs will just close doors eventually because you just cannot survive and go on.
100%, folks, and there you have it from someone who's experienced in the world of Cape Rugby and Club Rugby and Western Province Rugby and the world of rugby in general. Francois Bontes, the president of NNK. And this is once again, folks, we're emphasizing the fact that you need to talk. Join us on Twitter, join us on Facebook, and don't forget every Wednesday here at 9 o'clock. That is how we empower Club Rugby. All right, it's very important. Why is that so important? So we can get communities around the side of the field on the Saturday to come and watch the games. And why is that important? So that we can uplift things. And Mr. H, why is it important to have a lot of people in the community around the field on a Saturday?
Well, everybody benefits from it. The more they are there, the more we can spread the word. And all the club rugby guys at the moment are in a position where they struggle. And, you know, if you look at Saturday, the people charge an entrance fee of R2 or R3. That's not enough to sustain the club.
To sustain the club. But of course, when you've got an activity like rugby on a Saturday, it takes you away from some of the other social evils.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
You know, a lot of those kind of things are positive for bonding. I mean, Egan, you've been in this game a long time.
Yeah.
And when you're on the side of the field, it means that you're obviously not somewhere else getting up to mischief.
That's exactly right. And I mean, you know, playing in especially community-based clubs, it's an outing, you know, for the family. You can sit next to the field, come watch from the junior level straight up to the first team. By the time the first team is done, it's late afternoon. So you spend, it could be a family day. And a lot of communities start doing that. And where as a player, it's not just about yourself, but it's uplifting the whole community by what you are doing on the field.
Absolutely.
Because you're representing much more than yourself.
100%, folks. Very important to encourage those communities in your area to come and watch the game on Saturday. And how do you do that? You do that through exposure. One of the ideas that we came up with was, why not make a little flyer and hand it out in your community and tell people to come to the game on Saturday? Let's look at some of the questions that came in on Facebook during the course of the week. Our first question is, hi Cape Rugby. I would like to know, why can't Cape Rugby broadcast one Saturday match? Well, we can broadcast one Saturday match. It's not that difficult. We just have to find some sponsors. So we're in the same situation as you. We can do live broadcasts, and it is part of our plans for the future to make sure that Cape Rugby is broadcasting games on Saturday so that you can also watch rugby on a Saturday like so many other people out there. Because we know that many people that are watching rugby out there don't actually have a rugby on TV, and that's what we're here for. We're here to give it to you, but we also have to find sponsors, and then we'll bring you live TV. Francois, how would you enjoy that? NNK against Tygerberg live on...
Be great. Be absolutely wonderful.
And I'm sure that if you had to go to a sponsor and tell them, listen, we're going to put your game 80 minutes plus presenters and everybody, we're going to put you on TV for 80 minutes, the sponsor will be very happy.
Well, absolutely, because they're getting exposure, and that's what you're talking about, exposure. But if you just sponsor the club just to play in a league, that's the first question, what exposure are you getting? So if you can have a television match, they get in that exposure, and that's what they want, because they're getting value for their money then.
Absolutely.
Getting something in return.
And that's what we're building at. We're building in that direction of making sure we get exposure for rugby out there. Moving back to that Facebook questions that are coming in. Hi JP, when will you be coming to us at Strand United? We're hosting UWC on Saturday, the 23rd of July, and that comes from Kasim Harris. Kasim, we're working at getting out to everybody. We're working at making sure we give as many clubs an opportunity on the show as possible, either through being on the show, on the panel, or in the history feature, or us coming to the game. Unfortunately, we can only get to so many people at a time, but we're going to get there. We're going to get to you soon. Mr. H, of course, this weekend we're going to get down to Observatory.
Yeah, Silvertree and Strand United.
You've seen them this week.
So they will be there.
Okay, but you're hosting UWC on the 23rd of July. That's next week. Yeah. Okay, so that's Strand United. But you go to Strand United, you're going to have your opportunity this weekend against Silvertree. And as we said, we hope that you're going to put in a sterling performance against Silvertree. All right, then moving on to our next question, also coming in on Facebook. And remember, I'm giving away 2 sets of 5 tickets to Newlands. Hi, Mr. H. Yeah, Mr. H, here's a question for you coming in off Facebook. How serious is the union about punishing clubs that don't have 3 teams or don't pitch up at all? And that question comes in from Tariq van der Ros.
Quite serious. The only thing is we can't do it immediately. When we see on Saturday that there's a nil result for a third team, then we must first investigate. So by next week or the following week, those things will be implemented, and then say, right, now we're taking a point away. You didn't have a third team, take a point away.
Okay,
if you don't turn up at all, obviously that's a major issue.
And then you lose the points.
Yeah, no. You
All
lose
right.
the points.
All right, just a reminder then, folks, some of you sent on some of those photographs, and remember, we're going to start rewarding you out there if you send us those images. Any fan pic will do. Take it on a mobile phone, take it on a video, it doesn't matter. Just get us some pictures so we can share those pictures with the rest of the community out there. All right, when you're in Super League A, you also want to see what's happening in Division 1. When you're in Division 4, you want to see what's happening in Super League B. You want to see what those other players are doing. You don't only want to see the players that you play against on Saturday. All right, so this limited edition shirt, which is going to be only available to panel members and a few others out there, and occasionally during the course of the season, is going to go out to some of those of you that sent in those images during the course of the week. So that's going to come up a little bit later. But some of the pictures that came in, and before we go to those fan pics that came in, some clubs are doing some fantastic work out there. Nassif van der Schuyf sent us some pictures of collegians getting busy in the community. Have a look at this. The guys made a bit of soup out there, it looks like, and fed some of the community members. So Nassif, thanks for that picture there. Altius Collegians doing a great job there, making sure that they contribute to the collegians. Let's take or contribute at collegians. So Collegians Rugby Club making an effort there in the community. So well done, guys. That's fantastic stuff there. And nice to see the players getting involved. So the players get that feeling. Let's look at the next picture there. You can see a little boy getting a sandwich and what looks like a cup of soup there. Folks, these are the kind of community initiatives that build the community support. So fantastic stuff there, well done. And we go to the third picture there, also coming in from the guys at Collegians, and there you see them all with a lekker koppie sop, eh? Nice to come in on a winter's day, a cold winter's day. So absolutely fantastic to see communities supporting each other there. So we want to make sure that that's the kind of support that constantly happens out there. Mr. H, but we want to get away from that, though. We want to get away from the point where people are well, of course, they're not playing for the soup there, they're feeding the community. But we want to get away from that scenario. And Clive, is it Clive Allen from Collegians? He told us, the spelers speel for a koppie sop. I know that there's people talk about, yes, players are being paid, but it would also be nice to make a little bit of pocket money on a Saturday when you need to put some food on the table.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you spend a lot of money to get there. You spend a lot of time and effort there. I know in our time we didn't get paid for anything.
Yeah.
But times have changed,
Times have changed.
You could go with your, what was it called? 2 and 6?
2 and 6, a sixpence.
We won't know. We wouldn't.
That was, of course, way before my time. Let's look at some of those fan pics that came in, folks. We're going to rush through these, but congratulations to the following folks who have sent in some nice pictures here. John Naude, you win yourself a shirt there. Eerste players at halftime in the pick. Hein Gordon, Jason van Rooyen, and Emil Hendricks. A lovely picture there. Thanks, John. We give you a shirt for that. The next picture there, Ishmael Dolly, the legendary Ishmael Dolly, on his way to SK Warmers' first try of the match. Photograph there from Bertram Malchas. Thanks, Bertram. We give you a shirt as well. A great picture there of the legendary Ishmael. And from St. George's, the legends out there, Clive Matheson sends us. Clive, congratulations to you. You also win yourself that limited edition shirt. And Craig Bestbier from NNK, Marnitz Pfister and Aaron Dippenaar of NNK, of course, celebrating their victory over Brackenfell, at least. A nice picture that coming in off Facebook as well. And there we see a little bit of development from the youngsters there. Look at those youngsters training in the hall of a kicking tee, future fly-offs. That picture comes in from John Paul Dudley, South African fly-offs in the making at the Rugby Tots. And moving on then to our next pick, Kasim Harris sent in a nice picture there of Strand United against Franschhoek. Adib stealing the line out. Lovely picture there. And of course, Carla Norkia. Carla, an old stalwart, of course, on the Facebook pages. Carla always sends us some fantastic pictures, and certainly it's time to reward her. Brackenfell against NNK, and in this picture, it's Albert Treitzman running with the ball. And there you see what the boys look like at Brackenfell against NNK. So folks, keep those pictures coming in. That is what we want to see. We want to see those pictures coming in, and make sure that we reward you if you send in those pictures. And those folks that did send in those pictures this week, congratulations. You win yourself a shirt courtesy of Cape Rugby TV and one of our sponsors, Evox Advanced Nutrition. Don't forget, folks, you can win for yourself 500 Rands worth of Evox products. Evox is, of course, the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby. And all you need to do is tell us that name again. Who is the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby? Of course, so important to make sure that you stay fit during the season. And remember, club rugby players are semi-sponsored. All you need to do is make sure that you ask your coach or your captain or your president at your club, how do you go about getting yourself those products? Just simple as that. Ask your administrators how it is that you go about getting sponsored products. So you want to SMS to put yourself in the mix there to 32010. That's the name and number of what you need to do right now to win yourself 500 Rands worth of Evox products. Congratulations to Zahid Apollos. Zahid Apollos wins for himself a 500 Rand worth of Evox products. Just tell us who is the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby. Send that word to 32010 right now. Let's take a look at some of the matchups coming up this weekend in Division 1. We'll take a look there first. Wraithby Universals against Esterrivier. Mr. H, according to Farley Felton, the chief bottle washer at Western Province Rugby, he says in Division 1 it's Wraithby against Esterrivier. That's the big one. Yeah.
Could be a good game. It's also, you know, two communities that's close to one another. So it's a kind of a derby.
Yeah.
Esterrivier is doing quite well, and Wraithby is also up there amongst the top guys. So there will be a big crowd.
It's going to be a big fixture, yeah. Let's look at the Super League A, folks. We'll just jump back to Super League A there. Hamilton's against Villagers. Egan, again, derby match.
Yeah.
Big one.
The biggest derby and the oldest derbies in the country. So we've now basically feel that we've turned the season last week. And I know Villagers are going to be out to prove a point. I think we've beaten them twice this year so far. But we're up for it. We're playing good rugby again. And it's a home game for us again. We're not going to just give away points there.
Yeah, of course, SK Warmers up against Belhar at the Greenpoint track. Mr. H, are these 4 o'clock kickoffs?
Yes, because the other match is at 3 o'clock. So there's no sense in making the other matches earlier.
Okay. In Super League B, Brackenfell against Collegians, Hands and Hearts against Primrose, NNK and Young Peoples. Bonte, we got you here. You're on the spot. NNK and Young Peoples, you must be
Well, you know,
confident?
we played them in our first game in 1B, and we sneaked in 14-13. So there's not one easy game in this competition. We realise that. So we'll be ready, but it's not going to be easy. You have to make things work at your own. No one's going to hand anything to you on a plate. So.
That's not going to be easy at all. Of course, we'll continue to look at those matchups then. Peniel Villages against Kales River, and Tygerberg take on Belleville. There's a big one there, Mr. H.
Yeah, I mean, Tygerberg riding the crest of the wave, and Belleville, you know, they unfortunately, I think they slipped up last week. They would like to settle matters again. And then, of course, NNK is right on the tail of Tygerberg, you know. So there's a lot of positions that's going to change. If Tygerberg should lose or something like that, then there's a lot of excitement going to happen in that division.
Yeah, let's take a look then at the rest of the matchups there as we look at Division 1 we've already looked at. Let's move to Division 3 now. Bishop Lavis against Young Ideas, Perseverance against Richmond Rangers, Retreat against Caledonian Roses, Young Brothers against Violets. Those are some of the fixtures in Division 3. In Division 4, Delft take on Imakawi, Kailicha against Marcy, Mitchell's Plain United against Peninsula at Woodlands, and Titans take on Progress at Grassy Park. will move on to Division Pole region now. Of course, Allendale against Vineyard, Simonium against Windmill United, Violence against Riverstones, and Young Standards against Albions. And it looks like the pick of the week there at Del Yusufat is Lower Pole against Young Gardens. Mr. H, is that the one to look out for?
Yes, that would be a good. All Pole matches are derbies. All of them, because they're all in the same place. So it will be a great game.
All right, folks, we are running that Facebook competition. Once again, congratulations to those of you that I mentioned early on, whose photographs we showed. You win yourself that limited edition Cape Rugby shirt. So that's going to, we'll be in touch with you soon to send that shirt to you. So make sure that you're on Facebook and that you're in the inbox scenario so we can get those details to you in terms of how to get that to you. Of course, we did say that 2 people on Facebook this evening are going to win themselves 5 tickets each. Let's take a look at our winners then this evening, who win for themselves 5 tickets each for this weekend's match against Western Province, at least against Griquas. Congratulations to Matt Jacobs. Matt has jumped on Facebook. Matt Jacobs wins for himself a set of tickets, or 5 tickets at least, him and 4 friends to go and watch Western Province take on Griquas. And Lizelle Davids. Lizelle did ask a question for Mr. H. Mr. H, if a learner 18 is registered, Western Province SS, can he play club rugby?
No, you must be over 18.
You've got to be over 18. So you need to be over 18 to play club rugby, or just not quite there. But Lizelle, congratulations to winning yourself 5 tickets to go and watch Western Province take on Griquas at the weekend. Anything else interesting happening at Newlands over the weekend?
Well, the women is playing there.
The women are playing?
National champions playing Eastern Province as a curtain raiser. So that might be interesting to watch. And then we also have DISA trials and amateur team trials going on at the moment.
How are we doing with the DISA trials? Francois, you're involved with the DISA selection?
No, I'm with the amateur side, but the DISA, they've got so many clubs they have to look after, so they're having trials on numerous Mondays already. And I said they're still busy in the process. We as the amateur have put a squad together, but we're on a continued basis going, watching club rugby. I was at Hamilton SK on Saturday. The other guys move around, putting a squad together. Jerome's going to be working with that, and I think in about a couple of weeks' time, they'll actually have a practice game against the DISAs so we can start getting closer to finalising the team.
Egan, are the guys that, on the field, are they aware of the fact that if you play hard, you might make it into one of the amateur or DISA sides?
Yeah, you know, JP, a lot of times it shouldn't be why you're playing on a Saturday, and you never know what could happen. It's just to give your best. You never know who could be watching. But it's an opportunity that's there for everyone.
Yeah.
It's not just for certain players. All club rugby players should know that there's scouts all over. So you got to give your best week in, week out.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. Let me just thank my panel. Egan, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Francois, we wish you guys the very best of luck for the rest of the season, to you and those fans out there. And I know NNK guys are the most keen fans. They send us the pictures, the videos.
Keep it going, guys. Keep it going. Great
Keep it going, Mr. H. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place.
Thank you.
And we'll be popping around to go and watch Silvertree against Stand United at Observatory over the weekend. Get out there. You'll see Cape Town TV with Cape Rugby. Congratulations again to all those of you that sent us pictures. Join us again next week, same time, same place. Fantastic to have you along. Don't forget, find us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. From me, JP Naude, your host. See you again next week. Bye-bye.